As you saw in today's gospel, my friends, it's from chapter 6 of St. Matthew, the end of that. And as you hopefully read what the deacon said last week, my friends, it's involved with that chapters 5, 6, 7. I was telling the deacon he owes me a few minutes because it took me a lot longer than 7 minutes. You know what he said to me, my friends? He said he belonged in remedial reading. That's not a good deacon. But you know, my friends, if you haven't read it, it's a wonderful thing. You know, I've been preaching on those 3 chapters for 20 years, but I never read it all in one setting like that. It's a beautiful, beautiful passage of the gospel, Matthew 5, 6, and 7. So I encourage you to do that. The deacon also had a wonderful idea. We're going to adopt it during Lent. There are purple boxes, and each day you pull out a different activity that you and your family want to do. And so there's one box for every family in our parish, and we'll bring them up right after the homily to bless them. But you don't count Sundays, my friends, but every day during Lent, starting Ash Wednesday, you pull a little slip out, and it gives a little activity. Oftentimes, we don't know what to do or give up during Lent, and this is something that us as a parish can kind of do. So I encourage you to do that if you'd like. In today's gospel, my friends, it talks about worry. Can any of you, by worrying, add a single moment to your lifespan? Worrying. We all do it, don't we? We all do it. I was reading a bunch of cute articles this week. One of them was about a father of a 16-year-old, and she was taking her test at the Department of Motor Vehicles. And as he watched her from the window, he was pacing back and forth. And finally, the clerk who was watching him during this time said, "You know, sir, you really shouldn't be too nervous about her passing the test. You should be nervous after she passes it." You know, in some of these articles it says, you don't get stomach ulcers from what you eat. You get ulcers from what? What is eating you? What is eating you? Epicletus, a very ancient philosopher, said, we should be more concerned about removing thoughts from our mind than removing tumors, because those thoughts can do more damage to our bodies than the tumor. And how true that is. How true that is, my friends. That worry takes a tremendous toll on all of us. On all of us. Richard Carlson wrote a book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. He actually got his idea to write that book from his 6-year-old daughter when he was caught in a traffic jam. And her daughter said to him, "Daddy, why are all these people mad?" And he said, you know, it started making him think that, you know, we worry over a lot of things that aren't worth worrying about. And he said, you know, you are born, that's big stuff. You die, that's big stuff. Everything in between, small stuff. Sounds good, it sounds logical, but how hard it is to put that into practice, isn't it? How hard it is to live that out. Dale Carnegie wrote a book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And he dedicates a whole chapter to the value of religion and how it can tremendously impact our lives, especially in the ways of worry. Especially in the ways of worry. That's what Jesus is saying about in this gospel, you know. These words in the gospel, my friends, can impact our life. Can impact and affect our life. In one of the articles I read, there's some very expensive headphones that are called anti-noise headphones. And you know, I wish sometimes even my own self I could just block that worry out. You know, just block it out. But it doesn't work that way. You can't just block it out. It almost has to be like these headphones. Just like headphones try to block out the noise, these headphones emit a signal. So they have a special signal that they emit, And as the noise comes in, like most of these are like airports, handlers and things, so they're outside, they all wear them. This transmits a noise, a signal, and as the noise from the engine comes, they cancel each other out. And the one who's actually wearing the headphone hears nothing at all. Because the noise from the airplane, the signal that's transmitted from the earphone, stops and cancels the noise. It's called anti-noise, and it's a beautiful scientific process. But the article is saying that's what prayer can do. That's what our mass coming to church can do. It can't stop the worry all day long, but during periods of time when we pray, my friends, it sends a different signal and cancels the worry inside us. Sends it out, cancels the worry for a period of time. That's why there's tremendous value, my friends, in our faith and our prayer, especially in terms of anxieties and worries that we all face. So this week, as we begin our Lenten journey, my friends, we always realize the great value of prayer in our faith, because it truly does help our anxieties and our worries that we face each day. God bless you.